Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Mariza Snyder. Now, I am combining two of my favorite subjects today in this episode. And the topic is my top 10 daily rituals for optimal hormonal balance. And before I dive into this episode, I want to quickly take a moment and announce my winner for the essential oil giveaway that I have been running for the last 2 episodes. That is episode 11, the top 5 benefits of aromatherapy, and episode 12, rebuilding the gut microbiome naturally with my guest Summer Bach. In those episodes, you could win a chance to take home a Motivate and Balance essential oil blend by downloading the awesome How to Get Started with Essential Oils checklist. And wow, I had hundreds of listeners download the guide. I am thrilled to see that you are ready to get started with powerful, non-toxic solutions like essential oils as much as I am. As you know, essential oils are a major staple in our home. We use them for practically everything. So without further ado, drum roll please, the winner of the Motivate and Balance blend is Candace Romero. Congratulations, girl. We are going to reach out via email to get these sent out to you as quick as possible. Now, these 2 oils are my yin and yang. They are my go-to support blends when it comes to mood and emotional support. Motivate is my go-to for brain fog, focus, concentration, and instant inspiration. I use it pretty much every time I sit down at my computer or when I need an extra energy boost. And yes, I'm using it right now as I am recording this episode. And the second one, Balance, is my instant stress reset blend. Goodness knows we all need that instant reset, and this is my oil to do it. It's great for grounding, it's great for moments of overwhelm, and it's also incredible for maintaining cellular homeostasis in the body. Now, if you're interested in checking out the Getting Started with Essential Oil checklist, I will have the link posted in the show notes for this episode, which is found at drmariza.com/episode 13. Now, let's jump into this episode. It is not uncommon for women younger or older to experience hormonal imbalance. I believe that over 80% of women in this country has suffered from hormonal imbalance to one degree or another. So whether you're 15 or 52 years old, women have differing hormonal needs and can easily be thrown off by today's modern day lifestyle. Let's be honest. It's not easy to keep everything in balance when we are being pulled in a million directions, and our hormones' main job is to navigate and pivot based on what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Digging below the surface in research, you're going to find there are many hormones at play, not just the reproductive hormones like estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, but also insulin, cortisol, DHEA, thyroid hormones. They could all get disrupted, leading to a variety of health concerns. And unfortunately, it doesn't take a lot to throw us off. Now, oftentimes right now, because we don't have a lot of doctors fully trained, we find that a lot of women are getting undiagnosed or even worse, misdiagnosed and treated for something else. So that's why it is so important to pay attention to what we do every day so that we are protecting our hormone balance and overall well-being. When I sat down and started to dig deep into my past health history, my hormones felt out of whack as early as high school. And this was during a time where we didn't talk about periods or menstrual cycles. And I really had no idea about hormones in general. I definitely didn't know that they were dictating so much of what was going on and why I felt so crappy all the time. I really wish I knew then what I know today, and that is self-care is critical for a happier, healthier me and a happier, healthier you. Simple daily rituals and habits can help you find a happy balance for your body, mind, and soul while keeping your internal systems running smoothly. When we take time each day to work on ourselves and understand how we tick, we are in the best shape to become the CEO of our health, which is exactly why I'm focusing on this topic today. So here are my top 10 rituals served up on a silver platter for you to begin to implement immediately. So let's start with number 1. Reduce your personal stress. As you and I both know, stress is no joke. cortisol behind the scenes is the hormone that's really running the show here. It is essential to our survival. I call it the survival hormone. And the problem with cortisol is when it's working normally, we do great. But when it's on overdrive, which oftentimes happens when we're in a state of chronic stress, it leads to a slew of hormonal issues, which I don't want to get into specifically today, but just note that chronic stress is definitely one of the leading causes of disease in the body today. And I know from personal experience, because it was what got me in so much trouble all those years ago. For years, I was fueled by stress. And we know that when that happens, you don't feel right. Your brain isn't working properly. Your hormones aren't working properly. Weight gain. I mean, there's a slew of conditions that fall in suit when your body is in stress mode. So what I want you to be doing, because I know that stress comes in many forms and it happens all of the time, I want you to be training yourself to assess each situation in your life and ask yourself specific questions. These are 2 questions that I like to ask myself. 1, is this beneficial for me right now? Or will this bring me joy? And if the answer is no, then you have that ability to change how you're acting, change how you're responding, and even change the situation. But I feel like when we ask ourselves these questions and we assess where we're at, we can really begin to pivot and reset from that moment. And that's really why I love using essential oils, which we'll talk a lot about in just a second, because I know that I can grab one of those when I'm feeling like, this really isn't serving me right now, or I'm feeling a little bit stressed, my heart's racing a little bit. Let me do something. Let me change my behavior. Let me drop in some self-care so I can get back to that place as a higher functioning being. All right, number 2, establish a morning routine. Now, I devoted an entire episode to this topic, and if you want to check it out, just head over to episode number 9. Now, I am a big fan of having a morning routine that nourishes you and sets the tone for your day. It's much easier to get out of the stress danger zone when you are able to start your day on the best foot. Now, there's a quote that I love by Louise Hay that goes, "How you start your day is often how you live your life." That's right. Your morning routine is all about setting the tone for your day. Each day, we get to choose the day that we're going to have, and morning rituals really allow that to come into reality. This is when you have the opportunity to choose your intention and flow for the day. Not every day is going to be the same. If you wake up without a morning routine, you may be subjected to a random flow depending on other people's needs, an agenda, caffeine intake, blood sugar levels, right? It can get super messy real quick. So you want to set your soul, your mind, and your body for success in the morning with rituals that are going to support you throughout the day, and especially in the morning, especially during those days where you may have a lot on your plate. So great morning routines that you can consider are having a breakfast that focuses on all of those important macronutrients that are going to feed those hormones, getting proper hydration, movement, journaling, meditation, aromatherapy, goal setting, or at least setting the tone for what you want to accomplish that day. These are all different things that you can do. And like I said, you can definitely go back to episode 9 where I dig deeper into all of these things. But I want to just set the tone for you taking 30 minutes out of your day in the morning and making it yours. That way that you get to create the day that you want based on your needs and priorities, not somebody else's. Number 3, hack your eating habits. So in my 20s, I had no idea that food played such a big role on how my menstrual cycle worked. I never put 2 and 2 together. Here I was eating candy, drinking energy drinks, wondering why I felt like crap. Green veggies, there were none of those. So your hormones function best on an organic, plant-focused diet with clean proteins and healthy fats. Now, this topic is going to continue to surface on my podcast because it is so crucial. I believe food is foundational to everything that you do. Food and getting that stress monster out of the way. So when it comes to hacking your habits, I want to invite you to explore tracking your food habits for 14 days, especially on the weekends. Feel like you can stay so good on the weekday, and then when the weekend comes, it is just whatever flows. So I have an app that I love to use, or I love to recommend. It's called the Use It app. Super easy to find. And what this app does is it helps you track your macronutrients if you want to get into all of that, your proteins, your carbs, your healthy fats, to ensure that your system is balanced. And research has shown that the balance of micronutrients rather than caloric intake greatly improve vitality and longevity. Like my dear friend JJ Virgin says, your body is not a bank account, it's a chemistry lab. That means calories just don't go in and out. It's much more complex than that, especially when you're making sure your hormones have all the vital nutrients to ensure that you are functioning properly. Now, here are some other quick hacks that I want you to consider for your daily routine, and that is including the color of the rainbow with fruits and vegetables for every meal. So I want you to be thinking about veggies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Find a way to get those in. I have a suggestion in my next ritual in just a second. I want you to be focusing on whole foods, ditching sugar, and avoiding inflammatory foods. All of these things, sugar, inflammatory foods are a big no-no for our hormones to function properly. And then, like I said, this app is really great for helping to reverse engineer your eating throughout the day so that you can plan accordingly. If you have a big dinner plan, then you can use the app to balance out the rest of your day based on that, because that happens sometimes, right? Be sure to take time to analyze your eating habits at the end of each week to determine where those trigger points were, where those cravings were, where you fell victim to overeating something that you knew didn't serve you. And then in order to stay at track in our house, this is what we do. We prep a lot of veggies, sweet potatoes, we pre-cut everything, salad ingredients for the week so that we are not rushing to the grocery store in the middle of the week, starving and making bad food choices at the store. I always feel like when you're starving, you tend to make bad choices. So I want you to just take a moment and think back to the last time you were so hungry you thought you were going to eat a horse. And what did you end up eating? What was that thing that you ended up putting in your mouth? Because at that point, it didn't matter. I am going to wager a guess that it wasn't the healthiest option on the planet to consume. So that's going to be my big hacks for you. It's just getting a lot of clarity as to what you're doing every day. Be sure that you're planning. And if you want, track it. Figure out what's going on. Figure out your triggers, because every day you want to be fueling those hormones. Every day you want to be fueling your body with the right food so that you are functioning at peak capacity and you are feeling like a rock star. Number 4, drink your veggies for breakfast. Green smoothies have revolutionized the way I start my day. Now, I used to opt for a Kind bar or a Luna bar and coffee, but I made the switch to green smoothies, I want to say over 10 years ago. And I love it because I put in good healthy fats like avocado or coconut oil. I add clean protein. I do superfoods like berries. I do all kinds of different greens. I do matcha green tea inside of my green smoothie as well for all of those antioxidant benefits. I mean, overall, to me, it is the high priority fuel that I start my day with. And if you are hooked on caffeine, looking to break up with caffeine, I love to swap out caffeine for matcha green tea or even just tea in general. But I do love adding matcha powder. I'm drinking a matcha latte right now during this podcast episode because I love matcha so much. But also, matcha's got all those great benefits in it. It's easy to make, it tastes great, and it releases a little bit of caffeine over time. So you have sustainable energy throughout the day and not that big caffeine crash and hit. Now, I'm not trying to take your coffee away, but if you are looking for a substitute for coffee, that would be my substitute. So get your veggies in, green smoothie. If you haven't tried it, there are so many great recipes online. I know I have some on my blog, drmariza.com. All you got to do is type in Dr. Mariza green smoothies and they'll pop up. And I know that I definitely talked about them in previous episodes as well. All right, number 5, move your body. Motion is life. It's so important to move your body every single day. I have made a commitment to myself that I will move my body every single day for at least 15 minutes because I know how good it is for my body. I know how good it is for my cells, my joints, and especially my hormones and stress levels. And I am a big fan of getting in where you fit in. Dancing, yoga, walking, hiking, whatever feels good to you. I was on the phone with my grandmother earlier today and I was talking about working out and doing burpees and sprinting. And she told me, when I was your age, I was dancing all the time. Doesn't that count as exercise? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely it does. It was a really fun conversation to have with her. So again, getting where you fit in. And what I also want to recommend is getting those quick, short bursts of movement as well. So it could be that you park at the very far back of the parking lot and walk into the store. You walk to your meetings. You take the stairs instead of the elevator. Maybe you're walking your dog in the evening instead of mindlessly eating little snacks before dinner. And other tricks are standing up while you're working, getting a balance ball chair, taking dance breaks throughout the day. So maybe you schedule these little breaks, or enjoying a walk at sunset or sunrise. Whatever form of exercise you prefer, just get your body moving. And what we know is when you move your body, it helps you to control your cortisol levels. So again, addressing the first ritual here, which is reducing your stress levels. It supports your heart, it supports your brain, and it really helps to deliver proper key nutrients to every cell in the body, which is so key. Now note that movement is a habit that takes a little bit of time to get adjusted. So give yourself at least 21 days. Schedule it for 21 days to make it stick. Otherwise, it's going to go to the wayside like so many other things we've tried in the past. Number 6, be proactive about drinking enough water. Now, did you know that not drinking enough water can affect cognitive function and cause premature aging? That's right. I said it. Premature aging. When you are chronically dehydrated, you start to look older. Your skin doesn't have all of that supple nutrients that it really needs to clump up. Also, when you are dehydrated, it creates inflammation and gut issues like constipation. So even more alarming that by the time you are feeling thirsty, you are already dehydrated. That's like when your body is sending you the big red alert, like womp womp. So you need to make sure that you are drinking water throughout the day. And one of the things that I have learned through research is that our bodies really oftentimes confuse thirst for hunger. So we end up eating instead of drinking water. So one of the things I want to recommend, if ever you're feeling hungry or you're feeling this weird craving that comes in out of nowhere, most likely your body is just really dehydrated. It needs to be replenished with water. So drink 8 to 16 ounces of water with a little bit of lemon juice or whatever you prefer, and then see if your cravings go away. What I've also learned about cravings is that they only really last about 3 minutes, and they rarely have anything to do with food. They usually have to do with emotions, stress, dehydration, everything but really fueling the body. So drink up. Always carry a bottle around, and maybe you even infuse it with berries, mint, cucumbers, lemons, whatever you love. I do actually have a water infusion detox book with tons of awesome recipes in case you were looking for some fun ideas. We always have a water infusion in our fridge, and I love when it's already pre-made because then we can just go pour a glass of water and we are set, and it's got all those yummy goody nutrients, and it just tastes a little bit better. Not that I don't love the taste of water, but I know some people don't necessarily like water. So that's my suggestion to you. Number 7, something that I probably haven't been doing since I've been recording this episode. This is such a great reminder for me, and that is breathe deeply. So are you breathing correctly? Many of us aren't, including me. We push ourselves through the day in a state of constant stress sustained by short, shallow breaths. So what you need to know is that when you are breathing deeply, it actually calms the body and it sends messages to lower stress levels and that you are in control. Things are totally okay. So slow and heartfelt breaths can slow down everything and get you back to being clear-headed, bringing oxygen to the brain, and just feeling a lot more relaxed. So what I want to do is I want to teach you a technique that I use frequently. I actually have to schedule this into my day several times a day because I know that I'm a shallow breather. I also do a lot of yoga for this purpose, but I call this the power of the pause. Now, this technique was taught by me by a good friend of mine and hormone expert, Catherine Miller. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab my Motivate oil because it just happens to be sitting next to me. I'm going to put a couple drops into my hands. I'm going to rub my hands together. I'm going to teach you how to do this with me. Now, if you have an oil on hand, grab it. If not, no worries. You can do this without an oil, but I think it's so great to bring an oil into play because that aromatherapy really just heightens the experience. So I got my Motivate blend. I can smell all those citruses. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath. So breathe everything in and you're going to hold it for 3 seconds. At the end of the 3 seconds, you're going to blow all the way out like you're deflating a balloon. And you're going to blow all of the stresses, worries, concerns, whatever has been on your mind, you're going to blow it all out the door. So we're going to do this right now. We're going to do this 2 times to kind of really get in the habit of it. So take a deep breath. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. One more. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And I normally recommend doing this exercise at least 3 times and then bringing it up to 10 times. And even doing the power of the pause meditation or de-stressing technique for even 10 breaths, it only takes 3 minutes or less. And it will help to reset cortisol levels. It'll help to lower your heart rate, your pulse point, and really get you back to focus. Now, this leads me to ritual number 8, inhaling essential oils for the benefits of aromatherapy. Now, look no further than high-quality essential oils for a quick and sustainable way to reduce stress and increase your focus instantly. And that is exactly what I did a couple seconds ago by using this wonderful little blend with rosemary, basil, citruses, mints, all of those oils not only just bring my brain into action, but help to release and regulate hormones as well. I just love essential oils for that. And when you breathe them in with powerful breathing techniques, like it's the best of both worlds. It's like knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, other oils that I love as well, lavender, because it's my go-to when it's calming the adrenals, and rosemary because it amps up our focus and concentration while eliminating things like brain fog and just that stagnant fuzziness that we can experience when we've been staring at a computer too long. Now, all you have to do, again, is you can breathe straight from the bottle. Very easy to do. Or you can do the technique that I just did a second ago. A lot of people love aromatherapy jewelry, so I recommend that. For sustainable balance, you can just wear your essential oils on your jewelry. There's all kinds of fun little necklaces and beads you can wear in your bracelets. But you can also wear oils on your wrist, pulse points, like on your temples, on the mastoids, behind your ears, back of the neck, whatever really feels right for you. For me, I love it on my wrist. And I love to breathe them on my palms as well because I get the oils all over my hands. So not only am I getting the aromatic benefits through the limbic brain, but also I'm getting the topical benefits as well. Now, I want to share a blend with you that I just love. This is my Overwhelm Be Gone blend because, again, we're talking so much about hormones today. We're talking about rituals around hormones, and the big culprit here is really stress. And you're going to find that a lot of these rituals are really about combating stress, either externally or internally inside of the body as well, with those superfood recommendations. So this is my Overwhelm Be Gone blend. And you could call this my Worry Be Gone blend, my Stress Be Gone blend. Honestly, it addresses all of those concerns. Now, when it comes to this blend, I prefer a 10 ml roller bottle because 10 ml rollers are so easy to use. You can have them in your purse, you can have them in your pocket. They're just great to take along with you. They're like the size of a lipstick container or a gloss. And what the ingredients is 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of bergamot, 7 drops of clary sage, 4 drops of wild orange, and then top it off with a carrier oil of your preference. This can be coconut oil, this can be almond oil, jojoba oil, whatever you prefer. So you're going to add the essential oils to the 10 ml roller bottle and then top it off with that carrier and then apply, these are my favorite areas, neck, temples, wrist, back of the ear at the mastoids, back of the neck, or just roll it into your palm and do that power of the pause technique. Now note that this is a powerful reset blend. It's effective at reducing stress, balancing mood, and ideal for releasing tense emotions. It's also great to reduce irritable feelings, mood swings, and worry throughout the day. So just a little bit of what you're going to get from this incredible blend. Number 9, heart awareness. Now I'm currently obsessed with GPS for the Soul, which is another app that actually measures your heart rate variability with a camera on your phone. Now, heart rate variability measures the time between the heartbeat as an indicator for resilience. Now, it's this heart math technology proven to help you reset your cortisol levels and DHEA levels and lower your pulse point. Now, a little bit about cortisol and DHEA. They are both very powerful adrenal hormones and have a variety of physiological functions for the body. Cortisol and DHEA are steroid hormones, both synthesized by pregnenolone, which is our master steroid hormone, like the mama bear of steroid hormones. Pregnenolone is a precursor to progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone as well, which is derived from cholesterol. So note that cholesterol is necessary to create so many of our hormones, specifically our steroid hormones. These hormones are involved in the stress response of the body. Now, GPS for the Soul is a great resource for mindfulness for your body's functional well-being. So I love this. Anytime I'm feeling stressed, if I want to just check to see what's going on with my heart rate variability, this is a great app to have. Again, you don't necessarily need the app. You could just be asking yourself those questions again. Is this serving me right now? Is this bringing me joy? Then you can start to reset what's going on with breathing practices, aromatherapy, whatever really helps to reset you and get you back into that calm state. Now, number 10, spiritual practice. And spiritual practice is different for every single person. But the major differentiator between someone who feels empowered versus overwhelmed is spiritual practice. Even 5 minutes of prayer or Zen meditation can change the game. So let apps guide you, like Zen meditation or Simply Being for 5 to 30 minutes to bring you into that guided meditation. Now, I love Simple Being because it is great for a stress reset as well. Even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's all done through the phone. Really simple, really easy to do. And the reason why I'm giving you guys so many apps is it's important that you have these kind of on-the-go solutions that are easy to plug into so it doesn't feel overwhelming or feel like you're having to really step out of your comfort zone to do something to get your body back on track. Now, you can also join some focus groups for prayer, faith study, or meditation. Maybe you do yoga, whatever works, but consider incorporating a little bit of spiritual practice into your life. I think you'll find that your day will just run a lot smoother and a lot easier. And I do love to incorporate essential oils into meditation. Lavender and bergamot are two of my absolute favorites. Those are the ones that are typically calming for me. So there you have it, my top 10 rituals to balance your hormones naturally. So what did you think? The big purpose of this is that we are creating these daily habits because what we do every day really dictates the life that we're going to live. And not only that, but dictates what goes on inside of our body, dictates the conversation and the communication that our molecules are having together. Now, did some of these rituals resonate with you? Or have you even already implemented a couple of these rituals into your daily habits? If you have already, congratulations to you. As you know, we are the bosses of our own healthcare, so we must be proactive in understanding who we are, how we function, what our normal is, and how outside influences affect us internally and hormonally. An individualized approach to your own health will enable you to rebalance and find that happy medium with self-care rituals. Only you can make the decision to put yourself first, and that's when the magic truly begins to unfold. Now, if you're not sure where to start, I would begin with only 1 to 3 of the rituals that really spoke to you. So which one resonated with you the most? When I started this personal healing journey many years ago, I knew that I needed to hack my eating habits, breathe deeper, and reduce my stress levels. Those were the big needle movers for me, and they are still today. Now, if you're looking for more rituals to rebalance your hormones, along with hundreds of non-toxic recipes, definitely I want to recommend my best-selling book, The Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils. This book is not only for moms, it's actually a guide for women and families looking to create easy, non-toxic recipes for your health and home. I devoted an entire chapter to self-care rituals and recipes, and they are so easy to follow and, most importantly, nourishing to the soul. So in case you want to check it out, I will link the book in the show notes along with the Getting Started with Essential Oil checklist in case you want to grab that in this episode, which you can find at drmariza.com/episode 13. Coming up next on the next episode is an interview with Alexander Jameson, co-creator of the documentary Super Size Me and author of Women, Food, and Desire. We are going to be exploring how to live your life by your own rules for your health, body, career, relationships, and soul. You are not going to want to miss out on this one. I personally cannot wait to interview this amazing woman. Well, it has officially almost been a month since I launched the Essentially You podcast and would love to know what you think. Are you loving the guest interviews? Is there something that you would like to see more of on this podcast? Please consider jumping on over to iTunes, rate and reviewing so that I can continue to bring you the best experts and help even more people become the CEO of their health. Well, it was such a pleasure. I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Until then,